Well, today we are going to start new chapter, differential calculus. So, in differential calculus, we have few important topics like partial differentiation, then Taylor's and Maclaurin series, errors and approximations, indeterminate forms, maxima minima, and curve tracing. So, all these topics of this differential calculus are very important. So, today we will discuss what is partial differentiation. So, in partial differentiation, first we define what is partial differential coefficient. But before we start partial differential coefficient, or before we define this term partial differential coefficient, first understand what is partial differentiation. Basically, partial differentiation is the process of finding partial derivatives. Let us suppose u is a function of x and y, that is u is equal to f x y, where u is dependent variable and depend upon the variables x and y. So, x and y are independent variables and u is called dependent variable. So, a partial derivative of several variables is the ordinary derivative. So, a partial derivative of several variables is the ordinary derivative with respect to one of the variables, when all the remaining variables are held constant. So, this means that if you differentiate u partially with respect to x or with respect to y. So, when you differentiate u partially with respect to x, then treated other variable means treated y as constant, and you differentiate as we differentiate in ordinary differentiation. Similarly, if you differentiate u partially with respect to second variable y, then what happened? When you differentiate u partially with respect to y, treated x as constant. So, a partial derivative of several variables is the ordinary derivative with respect to one of the variables, means x or y, when all the remaining variables are held constant. And all the rules of differentiation applicable to function of a single independent variable are also applicable in partial differentiation, with the only difference that while differentiating partially with respect to one variable, all the other variables are treated as constants temporarily. Okay. So, all the rules of differentiation applicable to the function of a single independent variable are also applicable in partial differentiation, with the only difference that while differentiating partially with respect to one variable, all the other variables treated as constants. So, this point is very, very important. So, when you differentiate u partially with respect to x, treated y as constant. When you differentiate u partially with respect to y, treated as x constant. So, before we start partial differential coefficient, let us remind what is differential coefficient. So, if y is a function of only one independent variable, so when y is a function of only one independent variable, say x, then we can write y is equal to fx. We can write y is equal to fx. Y is dependent variable, x is independent variable. Then the rate of change of y with respect to x, that is the derivative of y with respect to x, is defined as dy over dx. So this dy over dx is equal to limit delta x tend to 0 delta y over delta x. So this delta y is small increment in the value of y, and delta x is the small increment in the value of x. So delta y over delta x, and taking limit delta x tend to 0, it becomes dy over dx, and dy over dx is the derivative of y with respect to x. Now this can be written as, now delta y can be written as y plus delta y minus y. So this is equal to limit delta x tend to 0 y plus delta y minus y divided by delta x. And this can also be written as, this y is fx, this y is fx. Now y plus delta y is fx plus delta x, and all other terms remains as it is, where this delta y is change or increment of y corresponding to the increment delta x of the independent variable x. So delta y is small increment in the value of y, delta x is small increment in the value of x. Now define what is partial differential coefficient. How can we define this term partial differential coefficient? Now let u be a function of x and y. Let u be a function of x and y, more than one independent variables, right? And then we can write u is equal to fxy. Then we can write u is equal to fxy. Then you can differentiate u with respect to x. You can differentiate u with respect to y. So then the partial differential coefficient of u, partial differential coefficient of u, that is fxy, u is fxy with respect to x, keeping y as constant. The partial differential coefficient of u with respect to x treated y as constant is defined and written as, curly u over curly x. This notation is curly u over curly x. Curly u means partial differential. Okay. So curly u over curly x is equal to limit delta x tend to 0 fx plus delta x y minus fx y divided by delta x. So in this way you can define this partial differential coefficient. So curly u over curly x is partial differential coefficient, whereas curly u is partial differential, curly x is partial differential. Okay. So curly u over curly x is limit delta x tend to 0 fx plus delta x y minus fxy divided by delta x. Now this can also be written as, this curly u over curly x in simplest form you can write u x, x at suffix, or fx, x at suffix, and this can also be written as curly f over curly x. Similarly, we can define partial differential coefficient of u with respect to y keeping x as constant, and that one is defined and written as, on the same line, curly u over curly y, this is equal to limit delta y tend to 0 fx y plus delta y minus fx y divided by delta y. And in short, we can write u y, y at suffix, or f y, y at suffix, or this can be written as curly f over curly y. So this one is the basic definition of partial differential coefficient. Partial differential coefficient of u with respect to x, and partial differential coefficient of u with respect to y. So when you differentiate partially, then treated y second variable as constant. When you differentiate u with respect to y, treated x as constant. Similarly, we can find curly u square u over curly x square is equal to curly over curly x, curly u over curly x. So this result is curly square u over curly x square. Similarly, curly square u over curly y square is equal to curly over curly y, curly u over curly y. So curly u, so curly square u, curly y means curly y square. Curly square u over curly x curly y is equal to curly over curly x, curly u over curly y, और curly square u over curly y curly x is equal to curly over curly y, curly u over curly x. So this one is dy, this one is dy. This one is first dx and this one is dx. And from these two results, it can be verified that curly square u over curly x curly y, this term is equal to this term. Curly square u over curly x curly y is equal to curly square u over curly y curly x. Now next one is, what is the geometrical interpretation of this derivative, of this partial derivative? So what is the geometrical interpretation of this partial derivatives? So geometrical interpretation is, let us suppose z is equal to fxy represents the equation of the surface. Equation of the surface. So z is equal to function of x and y. That one is the equation of the surface in the x, y, z coordinate system. Let APB be the curve which is drawn on a plane through any point this P on the surface parallel to the xz plane, So as point P moves along the curve APB, its coordinates z and x varies. While y remains constant. Clear? Then the slope of the tangent line, slope of this line at P to APB represents the rate at which z changes with respect to x. The rate at which z changes with respect to x. And that one is mathematically denoted as curly z over curly x. The rate at which this z changes with respect to x means curly z over curly x, and that one is tan alpha. Alpha is the angle between this line and this x axis. This means the slope of the curve APB at the point P. You can see from this figure. Similarly, curly z over curly y is the rate of change of z with respect to y, which is equal to tan beta. So now here y axis, here z axis as it is, and here x axis. So this one is tan beta, and that one is slope of the curve CPD, this CPD at the point P. You can see from this figure. So that one is the geometrical interpretation of this partial differential coefficients. How can we geometrically interpret what is curly z over curly x or curly z over curly y? Now we have higher order partial derivatives, right? So partial derivatives of higher order of a function fxyz, function of xyz, are calculated by successive differentiate. Thus, if u is equal to function of xyz, then curly square u over curly x square is curly square f over curly x square. Reason u is equal to f. U is equal to f. This u is equal to f. Now this result is equal to curly over curly x, curly f over curly x, and that can be written as fxx or uxx or f11. That one is the representation. Okay, f11. F11 means fxx. Similarly, curly square u over curly x curly y is equal to curly square f over curly x curly y is equal to curly over curly x and curly f over curly y. This means curly f over curly y means fy first. First write this, and then with respect to x means x. Clear? So fyx. So first write this in compact form fy and then move outward. Okay. So this one is f21. Similarly, curly square u over curly y curly x is equal to curly square f over curly y curly x, because u is equal to f. And this can be written as curly over curly y into curly f over curly x. So first write this fx and then y. or f12. Now, curly square u over curly y square is equal to curly square f over curly y square, which is equal to curly over curly y, curly f over curly y, and that can be written as fyy or f22. Now, third order, curly cube u over curly z square curly y. So, this can be written as curly over curly z curly square f over curly z curly y, and this bracketed term can be written like this way, curly over curly z curly f over curly y. So, this means first fy then z then z. So, fy z z. This means f233. Similarly, curly 4u over curly x curly y curly z square, this can be written as curly over curly x curly cube f over curly y curly z square. Now, again curly over curly y and curly square f over curly z square. Now, first this f z z, then y, then x. So, f z z y x. Now, this can be written as f3321. So, this one is fundamental or basic definition. How can we evaluate this partial differential coefficients? So, let us solve this simple problem if u is equal to tan inverse y over x. Very simple problem. If u is equal to tan inverse y over x, then prove that curly square u over curly x square is plus curly square u over curly y square is equal to 0. Then how can we prove this result? Now, here u is equal to tan inverse y over x. You have to evaluate this result, means you have to evaluate curly u over curly x, then curly square u over curly x square, curly u over curly y, then curly square u over curly y square, and then adding both the results you will get 0. Now, let us try. So, first calculate curly u over curly x. What is curly u over curly x? Curly u over curly x is the partial differential coefficient. Understand, underline this, partial differential coefficient, not partial differential. Curly u over curly x is partial differential coefficient of u with respect to x, keeping y as constant. Now, this can be written as, this can be calculated as curly u over curly x. This means curly over curly x tan inverse y over x, and when you differentiate partially with respect to x, treated y as constant, you will get 1 over 1 plus y square over x square, and within the bracket minus y over x square. Just simplify, you will get this result, minus y over x square plus y square. Again differentiate partially. So, when you again differentiate partially with respect to x, we get curly square u over curly x square, and this means curly over curly x, curly u over curly x. Now, substitute the value of curly u over curly x, minus y over x square plus y square. Now, differentiate this bracketed term with respect to x, but treated y as constant, treated y as constant. So, when you calculate, simplify, you will get equation number, result number 1, 2xy divided by x square plus y square and whole square. So, when you differentiate this term, remember, treated y as constant. This point is important, okay? And other rules are as we have applied earlier. Okay. Now, calculate what is curly u over curly y. So, curly u over curly y is the partial differential coefficient of u with respect to y, keeping x as constant, keeping x as constant. So, when you differentiate u with respect to y, treated y as constant, you will get 1 over 1 plus y square over x square within the bracket 1 over x. Now, simplify, you will get x divided by x square plus y square. Now, again differentiate partially with respect to y. So, when you differentiate with respect to y, once again curly square u over curly y square means curly over curly y, curly u over curly y. Now, substitute this value here, curly u over curly y, x divided by x square plus y square here. Then solve. So, when you differentiate this bracketed term with respect to y, treated x as constant, then calculate, and you will get minus 2xy divided by x square plus y square whole square, and write this expression number 2. Now, adding 1 and 2. So when you add 1 and 2, we get curly square u over curly x square plus curly square u over curly y square is equal to this minus this minus this, and you will get this result 0. This completes the proof. So in this type of problem, you differentiate partially with respect to x as well as y as required. Okay. Now one more problem. If u is equal to function of x plus ay plus phi x minus ay, then prove that curly square u over curly y square is equal to a square curly square u over curly x square. Solve this problem. This problem is very simple. We have given u is equal to function of x plus ay plus phi x minus ay, then prove this result. So you have to calculate curly u over curly x, curly square u over curly x square, and then curly u over curly y, curly square u over curly y square. So here we have given u, then calculate curly u over curly x. So curly u over curly x treated y as constant. So curly u over curly x is equal to f dash x plus ay into 1. Reason is this 1x. Okay, 1x. So f dash x plus ay into 1 plus phi dash x minus ay into 1. Clear? And curly square u over curly x square is f double dash x plus ay plus phi double dash x minus ay. So that one is curly square u over curly x square. Now calculate curly u over curly y, f dash x plus ay into a. Reason is this a. Plus phi dash x minus ay means minus a. This minus a. Similarly calculate curly square u over curly y square. Treated x as constant. So f double dash x plus ay, a into a means a square. And phi double dash x minus ay, minus a into minus a means minus a square. Then a square common within the bracket f double dash x plus ay plus phi double dash x minus ay. And this bracketed term is nothing but this one. This bracketed term is nothing but curly square u over curly x square. So a square curly square u over curly x square, and this completes the proof. So in this way you can evaluate all these type of problems where you differentiate partially directly by using basic definition. Now one more problem. Show that limit x y tends to 0 0, x y cube divided by x square plus y 6 does not exist. Limit does not exist. तो ये जो लिमिट है ये एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगी, ये आपको प्रूव करना है. अब मैं एक सिंपल वे से आपको बता देता हूं. सपोज दिस वन इज द रीजन, दिस वन इज 0 0 and this one is xy. xy tends to 0 0. आपको यहां से यहां तक आना है. आपके पास बहुत सारे रास्ते हैं. आप यहां से भी आ सकते हो, मीन्स फर्स्ट x 0 एंड देन y 0. आपके पास ये भी एक पाथ है, आप इस पाथ को फॉलो करो, यू कैन रीच एट दिस पॉइंट. और अगर इन दोनों पाथ से वैल्यू लिमिट की सेम आ रही है तो इसका मतलब जरूरी नहीं है कि लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करेगी. क्वेश्चन में दे रखा हुआ है कि लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. इसका मतलब कोई एक पाथ ऐसा है जिस पाथ में वैल्यू जो है वो डिफरेंट आएगी. आपका ये भी एक पाथ हो सकता है, ये भी एक पाथ हो सकता है, ये भी एक पाथ हो सकता है. कोई एक ऐसा पाथ है जहां जो वैल्यू है इन दोनों पाथ से डिफरेंट हो सकती है. तो जब लिमिट एग्जिस्ट की मैं बात कर रहा हूं, इसका मतलब जितने भी पाथ हैं उस पॉइंट तक पहुंचने के आपकी लिमिट सेम आनी चाहिए. और जहां मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूं कि लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, तो उसमें आपको वो पाथ इवैल्यूएट करना है जहां वैल्यू जो है वो बाकी पाथ से जो आ रही है वो डिफरेंट वैल्यू हो. सो दिस क्वेश्चन इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. And interesting part is how can we evaluate that particular path. Okay, so let us try. show that this limit does not exist. Now calculate this limit xy tends to 0, 0, xy cube divided by x square plus y6. So first limit x tend to 0 and then y tend to 0. So xy 0, 0 means x tend to 0, y tend to 0. Function is this. Now first x tend to 0 means by putting x equal to 0. So when you put, we get 0 y cube divided by 0 plus y6, and it becomes 0 divided by y6 means 0. So limit y tend to 0, 0 means result is 0. So when you follow this path, first x 0 and then y 0. Okay, so first x 0 and then y 0, then you will get this value 0. Now choose second path. Limit xy tends to 0, 0 means xy cube over x square plus y6 is equal to xy 0, 0 means x tend to 0, y tend to 0, and function is this xy cube divided by x square plus y6. Now see, first, now here y tends to 0 first. So y tend to 0 means x dot 0, x square plus 0 means limit x tend to 0, 0 means 0. So either you choose this path or you choose this path, you will get same limit. But even then, limit does not exist. This means that we have one path, at least one path, where limit is different from this 0. Okay. So from 1 and 2, given limits is 0 as xy tends to 0, 0 separately. Now let xy tends to 0 along the curve x is equal to y cube m, or x is equal to m y cube, where m is a constant. अब देखिए मैंने पर्टिकुलर ये एक पाथ चूज किया है. अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैंने ये पर्टिकुलर पाथ ही क्यों चूज किया. मैं y4 भी ले सकता था, मैं y6 भी ले सकता था, बट इस पर्टिकुलर पाथ को लेने के पीछे क्या है, क्यों मैं ऐसा पाथ ले रहा हूं. लेट अस सी. नाउ लिमिट xy टेंड टू 0, 0, xy cube divided by x square plus y square. Now substitute the value of x. X is my cube. So m y cube divided by m square y6 plus y6. And m common. So m here limit y tend to 0. तो जब आप x की वैल्यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ y कर दोगे तो यहाँ जो x y 0 0 है वो सिंपली y 0 रह जाएगा, बिकॉज वी रिप्लेस x by m y cube and it becomes y6 divided by y6 कॉमन m square plus 1. अब ये जो कर्व मैंने पर्टिकुलर कर्व लिया है वो इस ढंग से लिया है कि मैं x की क्या वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करूं, क्या y की क्या पावर सब्स्टिट्यूट करूं कि डिनोमिनेटर और न्यूमिनेटर में सेम पावर हो जाए. इसके पीछे लॉजिक ये है. ओके, सो व्हेन यू सब्स्टिट्यूट दिस, हियर y6 हाईएस्ट पावर, हियर y6 and then cancel, you will get m divided by m square plus 1. Limit y tend to 0 1 and that one is m divided by m square plus 1. And it depends upon m. It depends upon m. So, but from third limit is not 0 but is different for different values of m. तो इसका मतलब ये लिमिट 0 नहीं आ रही है. Depend upon the value of m. Clear? Hence the given limit does not exist. Hence the given limit does not exist. तो इस टाइप की जितनी भी प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी, अगर तो ये लिखा होगा कि लिमिट एग्जिस्ट, देन यू prove just left hand limit and right hand limit, or you just prove by using this path and this path and see the value. If value is same then it's okay. But if question is limit does not exist, clear, और उस केस में अगर ये वैल्यू भी सेम आ रही है, then develop a path where limit is different, the value obtained by using this path and using this path. So next definition, this one is a very important definition, homogeneous function and Euler's theorem. So first define what is homogeneous expression and then we define homogeneous function. So what is homogeneous expression? An expression of the form a0 x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 y power 1 plus a2 x power n minus 2 y power 2 plus and so on plus a n y power n. अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो ये देखिए पावर n है, n माइनस वन प्लस वन n है, n माइनस टू प्लस टू n है, ये n है. So where each term of degree n. Okay. So an expression of this form where each term of degree n is called homogeneous expression in x and y, and of degree or order n. So we can write homogeneous expression like this way. Okay. So an expression of the form a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 y power 1 and so on plus a n y power n, where each term of degree n is called homogeneous expression in x and y of degree n. Then how can we define homogeneous function? If this expression equal to some quantity u, then u is called homogeneous function. Okay. So if this expression equal to some quantity u, then u is called homogeneous function in x and y of degree n. This means u is equal to a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 y power 1 plus and so on plus a n y power n. So when we write this expression equal to u is obviously a function of x and y. Okay. U is a function of x and y, and when each term of degree n, right, then that function is called homogeneous function. Now see, if u is equal to this, x raised power n common, within the bracket you will get this term a naught plus a1 y over x plus a2 y over x square plus and so on a n y over x power n. And now see, this bracketed term is a function of y over x. So you can write this right side as x raised power n as it is function of y over x. So this means that if we say u is a homogeneous function of x and y, then we can represent u like this way. U is equal to x power n function of y over x. This expression means u is a homogeneous function of x and y of degree n. Clear? Also we can write a homogeneous function in x and y of degree n as u is equal to y power n function of x over y. Okay? अगर यहाँ से आप y over n y power n कॉमन लोगे तो आपका रिजल्ट क्या आएगा, y पावर n फंक्शन ऑफ x ओवर y. तो ध्यान में रखना, अगर x बाहर है तो x यहाँ डिनोमिनेटर में है, अगर y डिनोमिनेटर में होगा तो y बाहर होगा. कहीं गलती से उल्टा ना हो जाए. ठीक है. u is equal to x power n function of y over x and u is equal to y power n function of x over y. Similarly, we can define a homogeneous function in x, y and z of degree n can be written as u is equal to, if u is a function of x, y, z, then u is equal to x raised power n function of y over x, z over x. तो अगर x बाहर है तो दोनों में x डिनोमिनेटर में है. We can write u is equal to y power n function of x over y, z over y. Similarly, we can write u is equal to z power n function of x over z, y over z. So here u is dependent variable and x, y, z are independent variables. So in this way we can define homogeneous expression, homogeneous function and compact form of homogeneous function. How can we write homogeneous function? Now based upon this definition, okay, so using this definition we are going to prove a very important theorem known as Euler's theorem. So this one is the statement. If u is a homogeneous function, underline, u is a homogeneous function of x and y of degree n, then x curly u over curly x plus y curly u over curly y is equal to nu. So this result is only possible when we have given u is a homogeneous function. Otherwise, we cannot develop this important expression. Okay. So x curly u over curly x plus y curly u over curly y is equal to nu. N is degree of this homogeneous function. Let us prove this important result. What is given? Given is u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree n. This statement is given. U is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree n. Then we may write by previous slide. we may write u is equal to x power n function of y over x by definition of homogeneous function. We can write u is equal to x power n function of y over x. Now differentiating, now we are going to calculate curly u over curly x and curly u over curly y first from this expression. So differentiating one partially with respect to x means we have to evaluate curly u over curly x, and when you differentiate partially means when you calculate curly u over curly x treated y as constant. Okay, so keeping y as constant. So when you calculate curly u over curly x, we get x power n f dash y over x, so treated y as constant, into minus y over x square plus n x n minus 1 function of y over x. Simplify this result, this minus minus x x square and x n minus 2, so x n minus 2 and y function of y over x, function of y over x. So this x square and this x n, we x n minus 2 and y this term as it is, and minus here and f dash y over x this term, plus this term as it is. Now calculate this curly u over curly y, means differentiating one partially with respect to y. So when you differentiate u with respect to y treated x as constant, then we obtain curly u over curly y is equal to x power n f dash y over x into 1 over x. You can differentiate u with respect to y, but keeping in mind when you differentiate u with respect to y, treated x as constant. So it becomes x power n minus 1 f dash y over x. Now calculate or start left side, x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y, this. So x time this result, y times this result, okay, this and this. Now simplify this one, simplify this one. We obtain n x power n function of y over x, and this bracket term is nothing but u, this term is u, so it becomes nu. तो इसमें एक टर्म कैंसिल हो जाएगी, ठीक है ना, उसको आप देखिएगा वो टर्म कैसे कैंसिल हो रही है. अल्टीमेटली वी ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम दिस एक्सप्रेशन दिस टर्म एंड दिस टर्म कैंसिल. Okay, so this term and this term cancel. So we obtain from this. So n x power n function of y over x is equal to nu. This completes the proof. तो अगर हमें इस टाइप से कहीं पे एक्सप्रेशन आ जाए, u दे रखा हुआ है और ये कैलकुलेट करने को आ जाए x करली ओवर करली x प्लस y करली ओवर करली y, आपको क्या देखना है? डायरेक्टली nu नहीं लिखना है, पहले आपको देखना है ये एक्सप्रेशन तो यूलर्स थ्योरम का एक्सप्रेशन है. क्लियर? इफ दैट u इज होमोजेनियस फंक्शन देन अप्लाई डायरेक्टली रिजल्ट nu. Otherwise you have to evaluate curly over curly x, curly u over curly y, then substitute here, you will get the answer. But if you prove u is a homogeneous function, then apply this theorem directly. Now one more is extension of Euler's theorem. Statement is if u is a homogeneous function of x and y of degree n, then show that x square curly square u over curly x square plus 2xy curly square u over curly x curly y plus y square curly square u over curly y square is equal to n into n minus 1 u. और Euler's का result क्या है? Simply nu. That one is the generalization of Euler's result. So since u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree n, then by Euler's theorem x curly square u over curly x plus y curly square u over curly y is equal to nu. अब आपको कैलकुलेट क्या करना है? एक तो ये कैलकुलेट करना है, एक ये कैलकुलेट करना है, क्लियर, और एक ये हमें ऑब्जर्व करना है. ओके, अब ये कैलकुलेट कैसे होगा? जब आप इस टर्म को डिफरेंशिएट करोगे पार्शियली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x. क्लियर? So when you differentiate this term with respect to x, keeping y as constant, we obtain x curly square u over curly x square plus curly u over curly x plus y curly square u over curly x curly y is equal to n curly u over curly x. हमें रिजल्ट क्या चाहिए? x square. एक्स स्क्वायर कैसे आएगा, मल्टीप्लाई थ्रू आउट बाई एक्स, you will get first term. Okay, so multiplying by x we obtain this value, this expression, x square curly square u over curly x square plus x, यहाँ x के साथ मल्टीप्लाई किए, x curly over curly x plus y, so xy curly square u over curly x curly y is equal to n x curly u over curly x. Now then you can write this expression in simple way, x square curly square u over curly x plus ये टर्म, ओके, प्लस एक्स वाई कर्ली स्क्वायर यू ओवर कर्ली एक्स कर्ली वाई, और ये जो टर्म है, ये टर्म और ये टर्म, इनको कंबाइन कर लो, सो n माइनस 1 इंटू एक्स कर्ली ओवर कर्ली एक्स. So this expression number 2. Now similarly differentiate one partially with respect to y. Differentiating one partially with respect to y, keeping x as constant. So when you differentiate with respect to y, then it becomes x curly square u over curly y curly x plus y curly square u over curly y square plus curly u over curly y is equal to n curly u over curly y. अब देखिए रिजल्ट क्या है, y square curly square u over curly y square, so y curly square u over curly y square, so multiplying by y we get, so when you multiply we get x y curly square u over curly y curly x plus y square curly square u over curly y square plus y curly u over curly y is equal to n y curly u over curly y, and simplify this expression we obtain this one and write this expression number 3. अब देखिए एक तो ये रिजल्ट है, ये रिजल्ट आपका यहां से आ रहा है, when you add both these results 2 and 3, तो ऐड करने के बाद ये रिजल्ट यहां से आ रहा है, ये जो रिजल्ट है वो आपका यहां से आ रहा है, इक्वल हो गया, और ये जो एक्स वाई एंड एक्स वाई ये ऐड करके 2xy कर्ली स्क्वायर यू ओवर कर्ली एक्स कर्ली वाई आ जाएगा, और राइट साइड में क्या आएगा, कर्ली यू ओवर कर्ली एक्स, सो n minus 1 कॉमन, so within the bracket x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y, but by Euler's theorem that one is nu, so we obtain n minus 1 into nu. So adding both these results, so when you add both these results you will get n into n minus 1 u, and this completes the proof of extension of Euler's formula, Euler's theorem. Okay. Now one interesting problem and very simple problem. If u is equal to function of y over x, u is a function of y over x, then show that x curly u over curly x plus y curly u over curly y is equal to 0. कैसे प्रूव करोगे? Now this expression can be written as, देखिए ये डिनोमिनेटर में x है तो इसका मतलब यहाँ x लगा है, but here x power 0, तभी तो 1 है, right? So we can write this term as x power 0 function of y over x. This means u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree 0, of degree 0. Then using Euler's theorem, Euler's theorem is x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y is equal to nu, but n is 0, so result is 0. So very simple problem. अब देखिए यहाँ पे लेफ्ट हैंड जो एक्सप्रेशन था, that one is the expression of Euler result, Euler's theorem. So you just prove that here u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree n, and maybe 0 and maybe 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. Now one more problem. U is equal to tan inverse x square plus y square divided by x plus y. Then show that x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y is equal to tan u. This question is very interesting, very important. आपको राइट साइड वैसे नहीं दिख रही है जैसे आपकी यूलर्स थ्योरम का रिजल्ट है, ओके? तो इस टाइप की प्रॉब्लम को कैसे डील करना है? सो हियर u इज इक्वल टू साइन इनवर्स x स्क्वायर प्लस y स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय x प्लस y, and this can be written as sin u, here sin inverse, so sin u, let us suppose sin u is z, this z is equal to x square plus y square over x square x plus y, and this can be written as x 1 plus y square over x square divided by 1 plus y over x, and this bracketed term is nothing but function of y over x, so x power 1 function of y over x, So, u is not directly a homogeneous function, but this sin u is a homogeneous function of x and y of degree 1, means z is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree 1. So, z is a homogeneous function of x and y of degree 1. Then by Euler's theorem, x curly u नहीं आएगा, z आएगा, curly z over curly x plus y curly z over curly y is equal to nz. This is equal to nz, but n is 1. So, result is 1z. Substitute the value of z. Z is sin u. So, z is sin u. So, curly sin u over curly x means cos u curly over curly x plus y cos u curly over curly y is equal to z is sin u. Z is sin u. So, divided by cos u. So, x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y is equal to tan u. This completes the proof. तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स ऐसी होंगी जो डायरेक्टली आपको नहीं लगेगा कि ये होमोजेनियस फंक्शन है, बट थोड़ा सा उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लो, देन यू विल सी द गिवन फंक्शन इज दिस न्यू फंक्शन इज होमोजेनियस फंक्शन, एंड देन सिंप्लीफाई एंड एट लास्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट दैट वैल्यू, you will get this type of result. Now, one more interesting problem. If u is equal to x 1 by 3 plus y 1 by 3 divided by x 1 by 2 plus y 1 by 2 power 1 by 2, very complicated function. Prove that x curly over curly x plus y curly over curly y is equal to minus 1 over 12 u. अब देखिए, अगर ऐसे कैलकुलेट करना पड़े, कर्ली ओवर कर्ली एक्स करोगे आप कैलकुलेट, काफी लेंथी प्रोसेस होगा. कर्ली ओवर कर्ली वाई, even this part is very lengthy, okay. Then substitute here and then you will get minus 1 over 12u. But if you prove this u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree something, then use the Euler's theorem, okay. So, here u can be written as u is equal to x 1 by 3 plus y 1 by 3 divided by x 1 by 2 plus y 1 by 2 पावर 1 by 2. तो यहां से x 1 by 3 कॉमन लिया और यहां से x 1 by 2 कॉमन लिया और आउटसाइड दिस ब्रैकेट 1 by 2 एज इट इज, और इन दोनों को मिला दिया, x माइनस x पावर माइनस 1 by 6 एंड दिस 1 by 2, और इस टर्म को इस बड़ी ब्रैकेट से बाहर ले आए. सो पावर ऑफ 1 by 2 मीन्स माइनस 1 over 12 and within the bracket this. So, this means this bracketed term is nothing but a function of y over x, right, and x minus 1 over 12 as it is, and this one is a function of y over x. So, this means that this u is a homogeneous function in x and y of degree minus 1 over 12. Then by Euler's theorem, nu means minus 1 over 12u. This completes the proof. So, by using Euler's theorem, okay, this problem is simplified. So, next time we will discuss definition of total differential, definition of explicit function and implicit function, and total differential coefficient. And in addition to these definitions, we will define transformations of independent variables, means what is composite functions, how we can define Jacobian and their properties. Thank you.